Imagine a quiet morning at 67. You wake up at 6 a.m. Sunlight filters gently through the curtains. The house is still. You start your day the same way you always do. Wash your face, sip your coffee, glance at the news. But there's one thing you don't realize. At that very moment, your body might be facing a silent battle. A dangerous one. And you won't even feel it coming. Stroke doesn't give warnings. And the terrifying truth is, most strokes happen in the morning just hours after you open your eyes. According to the World Stroke Organization, every 2 seconds, someone suffers a stroke. Every 6 seconds, someone dies from it. But what's more heartbreaking than the numbers is the denial. So many people over 60 still say, "I feel fine, that won't happen to me." But here's the truth. After a long night without water, without food, your body wakes up in its most vulnerable state. Your blood is thicker. Your blood pressure is unstable. Your blood vessels shrink, and your heart works harder than ever. Yet most of us, unknowingly, fall into harmful morning habits. Right after getting out of bed, not realizing these small choices could spark the first and final stroke of our lives. The real danger isn't your age, it's what you repeat every morning. These innocent-looking routines silently build up, day after day, damaging your brain, your vessels, your heart. But here's the good news. More than 80% of strokes are preventable, simply by changing your morning habits. So if you're living a peaceful life after 60, please don't let one careless morning become the worst turning point of your life. Join me on this journey. We'll uncover 7 common habits, things almost everyone does, that are secretly linked to millions of strokes every year. And the most dangerous one, it's the habit almost everyone repeats every single morning without a second thought. If you watch till the end, you'll know exactly what this hidden threat is, and how to stop it before it's too late. The skipped breakfast, a silent attack on your blood vessels. Meet Linda, 71 years old, living alone in the quiet suburbs of Manchester. Her mornings were simple. She'd wake up at 7, brew a cup of black tea, read the paper, and skip breakfast. "I'm used to it. I never feel hungry," she once told her doctor. But one Tuesday morning, while watering her garden, she suddenly collapsed alone, with no one around to help. This wasn't a random incident. Skipping breakfast is one of the most overlooked morning mistakes, yet one of the most dangerous triggers for a stroke. After 8 to 10 hours of sleep, an aging body enters a low-energy state. But the real threat lies in the sharp drop in blood sugar. This drop triggers stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, causing your blood pressure to spike and your blood vessels to constrict. Your blood becomes thicker, stickier, just when your aging arteries are most fragile. A 17-year study following over 6,500 people found that those who regularly skipped breakfast had an 87% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease, including stroke. It's not about feeling hungry. It's about how your body reacts to a lack of fuel at the very start of the day. At 60 and beyond, every physical reaction slows down, but the damage runs deeper and lasts longer. Many people still believe that skipping breakfast helps with weight control. But in older adults, it often backfires, leading to weakness, dizziness, drops in blood pressure, and even sudden collapse, sometimes just from getting out of bed. The real solution: eat light, but eat. You don't need a big meal, but you do need something within the first hour after waking up. Here are some simple, powerful options. 1 boiled egg and a few slices of avocado. A small bowl of Greek yogurt topped with walnuts. A slice of whole grain toast with nut butter and banana. These choices are rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Perfect for stabilizing blood sugar, easing blood flow, and helping your heart start the day without strain. Linda was lucky. A neighbor found her and called for help just in time. After 3 months of recovery, she never skips breakfast again. These days, her mornings begin with a bowl of warm oatmeal, a glass of water, and a smile. Because sometimes, a small morning bowl can be the biggest shield your brain will ever have. Your morning coffee, from daily ritual to silent risk. Meet George, 69, living by the sea in Devon. Every morning, he brewed a strong black coffee and stood on his porch, watching the waves roll in. "No breakfast, no water. I've done it this way for over 40 years, he'd say. But one crisp autumn morning, after finishing his cup and still not having a single sip of water, his heart started pounding. He felt dizzy, and then everything went dark. No one ever thinks that the drink that wakes them up each morning could nearly take their life. The problem isn't coffee itself. The real issue is what happens inside the aging body right after waking up. And the way we drink coffee without preparing our circulation first. After a full night's sleep, your body is dehydrated. Your blood is thicker. It moves more slowly. And if your very first move is a cup of caffeine, a stimulant that constricts blood vessels, spikes heart rate, and triggers stress hormones, you're throwing fuel on an already fragile fire. According to the European Journal of Neurology, seniors over 60 who drink coffee without water or food beforehand have a 45% higher risk of stroke than those who hydrate or eat something first. And if you already have high blood pressure, which is common in older adults, that risk climbs even higher. Pay attention to these warning signs. Rapid heartbeat after coffee, shaky hands or sudden nervousness, lightheadedness when standing up. These aren't just quirks. They're your cardiovascular system begging for mercy, especially during the most vulnerable time of the day. SMALL Fix Big Protection. Just a few simple tweaks can make all the difference. Drink a glass of water right after waking up. Have a small snack, half a slice of whole grain toast, or a few almonds before your coffee. Or, if you're not eating, add a splash of milk or cream to your coffee to slow caffeine absorption. You don't have to give up your favorite ritual. You just have to do it safely. *** for your heart, your brain, and your future. These days, George still enjoys his morning brew. But now, he starts with a glass of water, a few apple slices, and only then lifts his familiar cup. And instead of that jittery, uneasy buzz, he feels calm, clear-headed, and at peace. Old habits don't need to be broken, just made smarter. And sometimes, that tiny shift is what keeps a life intact. Wait before you click away, stop right there. Because what comes next may shock you. It's a habit that seems completely harmless, but it's actually one of the leading causes of stroke. Right inside the bathroom. And almost no one talks about it. One small action you do every morning can send your blood pressure soaring in seconds, bursting weakened vessels and pushing your brain into sudden danger. If you think you've heard enough, trust me, you've only scratched the surface. The most dangerous truth is always at the end. Most people never stay long enough to hear it. But for many, that final piece is exactly what saves their life. So please stay with us, because in just the next 5 minutes, you might uncover something that could change the rest of your life. It only takes 3 seconds to fall, but a lifetime to recover. One winter morning, Raymond, 75 years old, jumped out of bed when the phone rang. But as soon as he stood up, the world tilted. His legs gave out. He collapsed to the floor. It happened in just a few seconds. No one thought something so simple could lead to a minor stroke. And 3 long months of physical therapy. When you're young, your brain and heart react quickly. But after 60, that reaction slows down while the risk only goes up. Postural hypotension, the hidden trigger behind morning strokes. After hours of lying down, blood settles toward the center of your body. If you suddenly jump to your feet, your blood pressure drops fast. And your brain doesn't get enough oxygen in those first few seconds. In older adults, the nervous system that controls blood pressure is no longer as responsive. You might feel lightheaded or unsteady, vision darkening or narrowing, heart racing, nausea, or worse, fainting and falling. This condition is called orthostatic hypotension. And here's the real danger. These sudden drops in blood pressure can damage fragile blood vessels, trigger vascular spasms, or even cause vessel rupture, especially in people with a history of hypertension. A 2019 study in the Journal of Hypertension found that older adults with postural hypotension had a 54% higher risk of ischemic stroke due to poor blood flow, a 39% higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding in the brain. The solution: wake up slow and protect your brain. Build yourself a simple wake-up ritual. After opening your eyes, stay lying down for 1 to 2 minutes. Breathe deeply, slowly shift to a seated position. Let your feet touch the floor, stretch your arms and legs. Rotate your wrists and ankles to get the blood flowing. Sip a few ounces of water if you can, it helps thin the blood. Only stand up once you feel steady. There's no rush, you have the whole day ahead. but just 3 rush seconds could cost you 3 painful months of recovery. Today, Raymond keeps a small chair beside his bed. Each morning, he sits for a few minutes, looks out the window, breathes deeply, and then starts his day. He told us, "No one ever taught me how to get out of bed. Not until I almost couldn't get out of it at all." The sweet breakfast, a 10-year trap for your blood vessels. Every morning, Judith, 72 years old, starts her day with a glass of orange juice, a slice of white bread with strawberry jam, and a sweetened yogurt cup. "I love a bit of sweetness in the morning," she says with a smile. "It makes me feel young again." What she doesn't know is that the very thing that brings her joy has been silently damaging her arteries for over a decade. Sugar, the silent storm inside your body. When you consume sugary foods first thing in the morning, pastries, sweetened juices, instant cereals, your blood sugar spikes instantly. Your pancreas scrambles to release insulin to bring it down. But after 60, your body's response to insulin slows down. What happens next? Your blood sugar crashes, leaving you dizzy, shaky, and fatigued. Your body releases adrenaline, raising heart rate, tightening blood vessels. A dangerous storm brews inside already fragile arteries. According to a Stroke American Heart Association study, people who regularly eat high-sugar breakfasts have a 44% higher risk of stroke within 10 years, compared to those who eat balanced meals. And if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, which is common after 60, that risk can double. Sugar isn't just a weight issue, it's a vascular time bomb. High sugar intake triggers chronic inflammation inside your blood vessels, making artery walls more fragile, more prone to plaque buildup, laying the groundwork for ischemic stroke. Worse, sugary breakfasts create a fake full feeling, leaving you hungry again within hours, low on lasting energy, and stuck in a loop of spikes, crash, cravings, and snacking that wreak havoc on your heart and circulation. The solution: smarter sweets for a longer life. You don't need to eliminate sweetness altogether. You just need to switch from fast sugar to slow sugar, natural sweetness that comes with fiber and balance. Try these brain and heart-friendly breakfast options. Warm oats with almond milk, banana slices, and chia seeds. Olive oil-free scrambled eggs with steamed greens and whole grain toast. Plain Greek yogurt topped with fresh berries like blueberries or strawberries. Sugar at the right time, in the right form, and in the right amount can fuel your brain. But the wrong kind at the wrong time can quietly choke your blood vessels without warning. After a surprising cholesterol check, Judith made a change. Now she still enjoys her sweet moments, but from real fruits, and from the joy of waking up each morning feeling calm, steady, and safe. When the pill is forgotten and the water is left behind, your brain pays the price. Brian, 73, is a meticulous man. He keeps notes, lives with routine, and rarely misses a beat. But lately, his memory hasn't been the same, and sometimes he forgets to take his morning blood pressure medication. One morning, he skipped his pill. He didn't drink any water either. By 10 a.m., he was in the emergency room showing signs of a minor stroke. A missed pill, a silent strike on your circulation. Many medications like blood pressure pills, blood thinners, or heart rate regulators are prescribed for morning use, because your body naturally raises heart rate and blood pressure after waking. Skipping just one dose might seem harmless, but it's like leaving your body to fight unprotected at the very moment it's most vulnerable. A study of over 12,000 older adults found that missing a single morning dose of blood pressure medication increased stroke risk by 36% on that day alone. And if you're on blood thinners, skipping them after a dehydrated night means thicker blood, more prone to clotting. The perfect setup for an early morning stroke. Morning dehydration, the dangerous symptom you never feel. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body loses fluid through breathing and sweat. But in older adults, the brain's thirst signals diminish, which means you may not feel thirsty, even when your body is already running dry. Thicker blood equals slower flow equals higher clot risk. A 2017 Stroke Journal study found that even mild dehydration in the morning can raise your risk of stroke by 34% within the next 24 hours. And if you start your day with coffee, a natural diuretic, you're making things even worse. The simple fix, just 1 to 3 1. Keep your medications next to your toothbrush or water glass so you never forget. 2. Use a day-by-day pill organizer to prevent mistakes. 3. Drink at least 1 full glass of water as soon as you wake up. To thin your blood, support your heart, kidneys, and brain. If you dislike plain water, try a squeeze of lemon, a slice of cucumber, a splash of diluted juice. Taking your meds on time and staying hydrated in the morning isn't just a good habit. It's a life-saving barrier between you and a stroke you never saw coming. Today, Brian keeps a full glass of water and a small pill box beside his bed. Every morning, before standing up, he does 3 things: drink water, take his pill, breathe deeply. No more dizziness, no more forgetfulness. And most importantly, he's regained something priceless: control over his own health. Toilet strain, a direct blow to your brain's blood vessels. Thomas, 76, once a strong soldier, never liked to complain, especially about private matters. But one spring morning, as he sat in the bathroom, his wife heard a strange thud. When she rushed in, she found him slumped to the side, his face drooping, his words slurred. A stroke right there in the bathroom, while he was straining to do something he thought was routine. Straining, the trigger switch for weak blood vessels. Did you know? Holding your breath and pushing hard during a bowel movement can raise your blood pressure by up to 60 points in just seconds. It's called the Valsalva maneuver, a forceful pressure that causes a surge of internal abdominal pressure, a sudden spike in blood pressure, brain vessels swelling under tension like a balloon about to burst. A 2022 neurology study revealed elderly adults with chronic constipation who strain regularly in the first 2 hours after waking up have nearly double the risk of stroke within 5 years. A delicate topic, but one we must talk about. Constipation isn't just uncomfortable. It's a final straw for an already strained cardiovascular system. But sadly, many seniors feel too embarrassed to ask for help, leaving them vulnerable to stroke right in their own bathroom. Real solutions to make going easier and safer. Drink at least 1.5 liters of water daily. Eat more fiber, leafy greens, fruits with skin, whole grains. Move gently in the morning walk, stretch, twist your torso to stimulate your gut. If your medication causes constipation, talk to your doctor. Don't suffer in silence. Use a footstool while on the toilet to ease strain on your colon. Don't wait until you're in a wheelchair to change how you sit on the toilet. Now, Thomas never rushes his mornings. He starts with a warm glass of water, walks for 5 minutes, and only then enters the bathroom. He said, I used to think pressure was no big deal, until it nearly stole my voice and my memory. Final thoughts each morning isn't just waking up. It's choosing to live. Now you know. 1 skipped breakfast, 1 poorly timed coffee, 1 rushed movement out of bed, 1 forgotten pill, 1 missed glass of water, 1 sugary meal, and 1 forced moment on the toilet. All can turn a peaceful morning into a trip to the emergency room. How you start your day is how you choose your future. Your clarity, your mobility, your freedom. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. Because sometimes, the smallest change in the morning protects everything you love in the years to come. If what you've just heard made you pause, or made you realize you need to change something starting tomorrow morning, don't let that moment pass quietly. Hit the subscribe button. Every week, we share practical, life-saving tips to help you live longer, stronger, and more in control after 60. This isn't just a YouTube channel, it's a place for people who want to live every day fully, without letting age decide the quality of their life. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend or loved one. Sometimes, a simple video at the right time can prevent something truly tragic. Lastly, leave us a comment below. Have you ever had any of these habits? What worries you most in the morning? We read every single message and your story matters here.